everybody, it's Christy back with another video, and today we're going to do something I like to try to do every year just to kind of give an update on what I have in my Plein Air painting bag and kit that I kind of use most of the time. So this is my Plein Air bag that I like the most. I have a bigger one, but I seem to really like to just grab this little guy and kind of take it and go. I have not opened it in a couple of months because it's been cold here, but I'm going to go through it and tell you what's in it, how we're going to refresh it today to make sure it's ready, because I've got a few upcoming trips and I want to make sure that I have this ready to go at my disposal. So let's crack into it and see what's in here. So in the back pocket, I know this is usually where I keep my little spray bottle. So I got the spray bottle on Amazon. I don't know, like, it's a very simple little refillable spray bottle, but it's nice and it's flat, and I like it because I can add water sprayed very easily. I have a water cup here that I've had for a long time. I think I got this at a dollar store or in a dollar section of like a Target or a Walmart for like ever ago. But I do have a palette that I've got a portable painter that's in this set right now. But I do like to have this in the in case that I switch out my palettes, because I'm going to show you there is a secondary palette that I often throw in this bag instead of the portable painter, and I'll show you why. But actually, let's do all the little pockets so that they're all empty, and then we'll do the main pocket. All right, in this little pocket is usually where I keep my extras. So let's see what we've got here right now. We've got some clips of various sizes, just always nice depending on the sketchbook that you have to have some clips. I've got some pens. I'll have to test these and see if they're working. These are both soft tip. I think it's a soft tip. And this one doesn't say if it's a soft tip or not, but it looks like it is. They are the Tombow Fudenosuke pens, and I love these, but I normally like to have a hard-tipped one with me, so it's interesting that both of them are soft tip right now. And then a tube of Holbein white gouache. I always like to have some tube of white gouache. This is the one that's currently in my bag as my way to do a white highlight. Okay, let's see what's in this pocket. We also have a kneaded eraser in here and a Micron pen, which I also like. I always like to have a couple different varieties of pen in my case. All right, let's see what's in the main pocket here. So we'll do the paint last. We've got some rags in here. This is the one I got for Christmas from K. Hanna Honeycues, and I actually think it's the one I'm going to keep in here because of the size of it. It's really nice and small. This one isn't terribly big too, and I do like this in a way because I use traditional brushes. I don't use water brushes, and so this will keep my brushes from going anywhere if I'm sitting at a table or I'm outside somewhere. Let's see what else we've got in here. Oh, another water cup. This one I got recently, and I like this one because it's got a base, so it'll make it a little bit more sturdy, and I also think that I can probably lid the water, at least for moving from station to station if I was kind of getting up and moving, or if I was moving from one thing to another. So there is another water cup in here. Like I said, I've been just throwing things in here as I find them and think, oh, this will be good for Plein Air. But obviously I've kind of got stuff all over the place here. So let's see what else we've got in here. Here's my brushes. These are my Mimic Creative Mark Travel brushes. I just recently got these, and I'll open them and show them to you in a second. I know I have other brushes in here. Oh man, this bag is a nightmare. There's stuff everywhere. For some reason, there is trash in here. So here is my hard-tipped Tombow pen that usually is in here. We've got a ruler. I did put this in here because I needed a nice ruler for this set. I don't know why there's a brown Copic marker in here. That's not normal. And then we've got some paintbrushes that over the course of time I just kind of tossed in here. All round brushes, round 6, round 4, round 6, and round 3. 2 Princeton Heritage brushes. Those are going to need a little TLC. It's got lint on it. Aren't you guys so glad that you're watching this right now? Another spray bottle. That's actually my spray bottle for this room. I don't know how it ended up in there. I must have taken it downstairs and then it ended up in there. Okay, and then we've got 2 sketchbooks, portable painter, another clip. Actually, I really like this clip because it's got a magnet on it, and sometimes that's really useful, and some tape. That is everything that is in here that isn't trash. So let's go ahead and look through the paints and let me organize this a little bit, tell you what's staying, what's going, etc. All right, let's start with the paintbrushes. So this Creative Mark Mimic set has, this looks like around 2, but it's more like around 1. So all of these travel brushes, I would say, are almost a size down from where they say they are. It's around 2. This one says it's around 4. Yep, that looks like about around 3 or 2. This one is around 6. So it looks like around 4 to me. I mean, even if we compare it, let me dip this in water so that you can actually see the point on it. So yeah, there's around 4 and that's around 4. There we go. So maybe this is a little bit bigger than this one, but they're pretty similar. And this is supposed to be what, around 6. But this is definitely not the same as my round 6. So you can see there that round 6 is definitely a bigger brush than this. Okay, let's look at the round. I think there's a round 8 next. Yeah, this is supposed to be around 8, and it definitely looks more like my round 6, maybe a little bit bigger than my round 6, but I really like that size. And then I think this is like a 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch flat. It's a 1/4 inch flat. So there's that, which is going to be really nice if I use gouache out in the wild, though these would be pretty soft bristled brushes for gouache, so that is to be thought about. So I'm going to keep these in here. I like them, and I think they're a nice set. I do have a few more travel brushes that I might throw in the bag or in here. And then I've got a Stillman & Birn. This is a Zeta series. This is the one that I did. So this is why I was using this most recently. At Christmas time, I did have this set down in my living room, and I was using it to do my little Emma Lefebvre Advent painting. And then, yeah, I painted this with my portable painter. So I definitely have been using this in my living room. So that's kind of cool. And then let's see if I've been painting in here too. So this is an Etcher cold press. It looks like I started a piece but didn't finish it there. So yeah, some of this was World Watercolor Month last year, and it looks like I started some kind of galaxy painting but didn't get too far. So this is an A6 size Etcher cold press mixed media sketchbook, but I love these guys. They're 100% cotton and they are great workhorses. This is the Zeta series, so it's better for illustrations, which is why I was using it at Christmas time. But I also love the Beta series of these two, which is a cold press paper, but they are not 100% cotton, but it's a really great mixed media workhorse paper. So I'm going to keep both of these sketchbooks in here. I'm going to keep this in here. Then we've got my portable painter. So let's talk about what I've currently got going in my portable painter. I'm pretty happy with the arrangement of colors that I decided to put in here. I don't think I made a video putting this in here, and actually we're about to see if they leaked or not. If you've never seen the portable painter, the thing that is awesome about the portable painter is that you can slide your cups on here and you end up having this really nice little sturdy palette that has both 2 water cups. Okay, so this is really good news because I was very worried about this particular palette because some of these colors are Sennelier colors. And everything, oh, see, that one is still very soft. Do you guys see that? It hasn't migrated, but yeah, both of the Sennelier colors that are in here are still really soft, and that's because Sennelier uses honey in their paints. All right, so one of the reasons that I wanted to pull this out was just so that I can double check what I have in here and go ahead, and I'm going to make a swatch card to go with this portable painter to have for my plein air painting for the majority of this month. So let's go ahead and go through using one of my other palettes here. Let's go through and show each of these colors. I did show you that the Sennelier colors are still sticky. They are not moving. I've had this thing on sideways, jostled around, and there's no evidence that anything is moving. The reason they look like this is because I touched them when I shouldn't have, trying to press the paint down in, and you can't do that with the Sennelier paints, so I ended up making a mess. That was months ago, but I'm just I don't care enough to pull them out to like clean the palette off because it's watercolor. So it's fine. So let's talk about the colors that are in here. This is Daniel Smith Hands Yellow Light. Here, I will pick this up so that we can be a little bit closer. So this is Daniel Smith Hands Yellow Light. This is Daniel Smith New Gamboge. This is Daniel Smith Quin Sienna. The Daniel Smith set of 6 starters, most of them are in here. Not all of them, but most of them are in here because they are, in fact, a really great set of 6 mixing paints, and I really enjoy them. This is Daniel Smith Pyrrole Scarlet. Then here I have Daniel Smith Quinacridone Rose. This is Sennelier's Dioxazine Purple. Dioxazine Purple is a color I really like to mix with my sap and Hooker's Greens in order to get some deeper, darker greens. I didn't want to put Perlene Green in here as it's a convenience color, although if I use it for a while and I'm missing Perlene Green, I may take one of these pans out and do one of the halvesy dividers. This is Daniel Smith Ultramarine, French Ultramarine, my favorite ultramarine on the planet. This is Daniel Smith Phthalo Blue Green shade. Then we have 2 Sennelier paints. We have Sennelier's Sap Green, because I don't care for Daniel Smith Sap Green. I like Sennelier's better. Just, it's a preference for me. This one is a Sennelier Hooker's Green. I think it's Hooker's Green Dark. I have to swatch it to be sure. And then I'm pretty sure this is Daniel Smith Payne's Gray. And this is probably Daniel Smith Burnt Umber. But we are going to just swatch them real quick just to make sure I remember what I did. Because I am, in fact, like I said, I'm going to make a swatch card today. So this guy, that's definitely Daniel Smith Payne's Gray. It's not Moonglow. I wouldn't put Moonglow. Moonglow's in my other palette. I do like Moonglow, but I wouldn't have thought that I would put it in this palette because the granulator that I have is ultramarine blue, and I'm perfectly happy with that. Yeah, and that is Daniel Smith Burnt Umber. So this is mainly Daniel Smith, a couple Sennelier colors, and then up here I have this. I think is Daniel Smith Yellow Ochre. Yeah, that's Daniel Smith's Yellow Ochre. That's not Sennelier Quinacridone Gold. And this is My Merry Blues Potter's Pink, which again is another really fun granulating color. So I have one warm granulator and one cool granulator that I can use anytime I want to do granulation, but I have other options for those colors as well. And then this is a Derwent Inktense white stick that I just busted apart and put in here to use as a white medium. That Inktense white is actually really good. It's not working great at the moment, but it is a really great white highlight option, and I like to have it in my palette for that purpose. So I'm pretty happy with those colors right now for the purpose of watercoloring. Mainly, I really like and use Sennelier and Daniel Smith the most as my artist grade paint options, other than M. Graham, but M. Graham will totally move around and I can't put it in a stable palette like this. The Sennelier stays sticky, but it will still work. See, it's not so sticky that it still kind of forms together. But look at that. Look at that dioxazine. It's so pretty. And then I think this is Hooker's Green. Yeah, that's Hooker's Green Dark. from Sennelier. And this one doesn't get quite as sticky as these two. These two get really, really sticky. But that's what I have in my portable painter for right now, and that's kind of what I am I was wanting to make sure I didn't need to fill anything. It doesn't look like I do for the time being, and it looks like nothing migrated, so I'm good to leave the Sennelier colors in there. All right, so I think I'm going to take these two out and wash them, and like this one needs washed too. I love these little rags. I can link the Etsy shop that I bought these long ones on because I love them and will probably buy more of them. And then I might just stick one of these guys in there. These are washed. They're just stained for life because watercolor. So I'm going to stick this in there for now. And these three are going to go to get the treatment to be washed. I also am going to leave both water cups in here, even though I have the portable painter, because if I take it out, I want to have water cup options that are easy and quick. I'm going to leave my spray bottle in here, my tape. So this is tape I got. I think I got this tape on either Amazon or maybe AliExpress. I have several rolls of it. It's really, really nice tape. It doesn't rip my paper, and it's just white, which I prefer over washi tape a lot of the time when I'm working outdoors. I don't know why. I'm going to keep this guy in here. I like to have a ruler with me. I need a pencil in here. I don't have one, so we'll add one of those to the mix. Let's go ahead and test these markers all out. The gouache is going to stay. The kneaded eraser is going to stay, though I need a pencil to go with it. So let's see here. Is this fine liner still? Yep, it's still in good shape, so it will stay. Let's see about this hard-tipped pen. It appears to still have some ink in it, but it's kind of dried out. So I might grab a new one of those. Let's see about this one. This one looks a lot better and appears to have a pretty fine nib actually. So maybe that's all I need in there for now. Let's see about this one. Oh, this one's got an even finer nib. They're really good and thick. So yeah, I'm actually gonna not bother opening another one. I'll use those ones until they're done. The clips will go back in. This is my portable painter clip. So the things that I need to add right now are I need to grab a white gel pen because I am without my white gel pen. And I need to grab, what did I say? A pencil. I need to have some pencils. So let me grab those and I'll show you what I'm going to throw in the bag. And then we will put the whole thing back together. Okay, so just to finish out here before we put everything back in, I'm going to add 2 pencils. I'm going to add my Faber-Castell, a Faber-Castell 9002H. I do like kind of a harder pencil for sketching so that I can't sketch anything down too hard. If I am going for something with shadows, I will go for a sketching pencil that's like a wash pencil. And I know some people don't like to do this, but I don't mind using a little bit of graphite underneath my sketch. So I have a light wash HB pencil here that I use. And so they both fit in my T-Gall sharpener, which for somehow got out of this kit, but is usually in here. So that's going to go in here too. And then I am also going to include a Sakura Jelly Roll 8. I use the Sakura Jelly Rolls and the Signo, the Uniball Signo pens. I don't find a major difference in my climate, though I do tend to feel like the Signos last a little bit longer, but this one's working just fine. So I am going to go ahead and put it in there. I usually try to get either the 8 or the 10 jelly rolls because it just makes the ink flow a little bit nicer. But that's what I have on hand, so it's what's going to go in the kit right now. So that's what's going to go in here. Let's go ahead and pack this back up. So normally when I pack this, I do start with my water cups and my water spray bottle out here. And one of the reasons for that is because these 2 little silicone cups can kind of fit really nicely in here. Well, actually, I only had one out here before, and let's see if I can get both of them out here with this and not make it too weird to carry. Yeah, there we go. So they're both in there now, and it's kind of keeping that water thing snug and in place. I usually like to put all of my writing stuff and my ruler in this front pocket here. So I'm just going to put it in this pocket here. All of this. I'll put my eraser in there. That's good. And we'll keep the pencil sharpener in there too. All right, in the bigger pocket here, I'm going to go ahead and I will put my tape, my clips, and my gouache. I like to put things that might destroy other art supplies out of the way. Well, I knocked the portable painter off the desk, but it's okay. And let's go ahead and close it up before I do more damage with it today. So here it is. We'll just go ahead and close it up like that. And then I'm going to put this pieces back on it. Actually, it's got this extra paint here from the last time I painted something. So I'm just going to use a paper towel here and clean this up a little bit. Is there anywhere else on the sides here that I can clean up from whenever I had that blue and that purple paint explosion? Okay, let's see on the inside. I guess I could wipe out the wells. I hate to do that though. See if I can make that look a little nicer without causing a disruption of color everywhere. Okay, that's a little bit better than it was. That's a little bit better than it was. Oh, I'm missing my ultramarine blue. Let's find that. Fun fact, kids, if you live in a dry climate, ultramarine blue does not like to stay in the palette. So you should do something. I usually try to wet it down before or right away when I go somewhere so it doesn't fall out. Okay, now we're all closed up. We're going to pop these guys onto your portable painter like that, and then you close them up with the clip. And you add your little band for extra support. And you can go ahead and put some paintbrushes through this band. I often like to stick some paintbrushes if I'm not using this there. And I think right now I'm going to stick with these paintbrushes, and I'm not going to throw loose paintbrushes in here because it's just not good for them to do that. So I shouldn't be doing that. So I'm going to put those in here. I'm going to put both of these books back in here. And then this little guy, I think that I will just fold this and put it in the front pocket too with these other supplies. And then we zip everything back up. And this is just like carrying a little purse. You could throw your, maybe I don't like these in the back. Maybe I want my water cups in here. There's a little like pocket in here. So maybe on the inside is where I want these. I know I want the spray bottle out there just so that it doesn't cause leakage, but I could do that, and that way it would be separated. And I could always stick them out there if I wanted that way for the purpose of keeping them from being wet inside the bag. But that's it. That's how it goes. And yeah, you could grab your wallet and throw it in here and your keys, and you would actually be ready to go with just one bag for outdoor painting. The only other thing that I sometimes take instead of that portable painter, I'm going to show you right now. And that is this little fun palette from Arts to Embers. And I like it so much because it does clip right over a sketchbook. So I have the sketchbook. So here's an A5 sketchbook, and you can clip this guy right over it. You could do it with a smaller sketchbook too, but I just really like how nicely it goes right over an A5 sketchbook like that. So what's all in here? Well, again, I have a Tombow pen. The reason I like these Tombow Food Nosuke pens so much, I'll just show you this one. They're waterproof. Once these dry, you can go over them with watercolor, and they are completely waterproof. So that to me is a huge bonus for these pens over other pens. The Micron pens are too, but I prefer the bullet or the felt tip, the brush tip on these guys to a fine liner when I'm working, but that's just me. Again, this is an old one. Then I have two paint brushes on here, and I have another white highlight option, which is a Uniball Posca marker. This one has a super fine tip, and I find these work as well as gel pens, sometimes better. Then on the inside here, we have a watercolor palette. I have a safety compass that I should grab another safety compass and throw it in. All kinds of watercolor brushes. Let's see what sizes I have in here. So this looks to be about around 1, around 2 maybe. This says 4, but again, I always think they're like a size down. This says round 12. I'd say this is probably about around 10. But this is a nice bigger round brush. And this guy says round 8, and it is, this one looks a little more like a round 8. So these guys live in here. Oops, I want to make sure I don't, I'm careful with capping those. And then this is one of Zach's classic Arts to Embers palettes. This one has 18 colors. It is all Daniel Smith. So similar colors to what we had in the portable painter, but this one is, I'm pretty sure, exclusively Daniel Smith paints, plus a white gouache, and I keep a silver and a gold in here. So I like this palette a lot. I use this palette quite a bit. You can see it's got a lot of love going on. I'm really bad at putting stuff in frame today, guys. So sorry about that. But so this one, sometimes I will trade out instead of the portable painter if I want a little bit of a bigger art piece, or I actually can just, I can just grab this set and go with it, and I just have to have a water cup. So that's the only thing that doesn't attach here, is having a water cup. But this is another plein air option if you are looking for ways to take your painting outdoors more. One last thing that I do sometimes throw in to my watercolor sets is a metallic watercolor set. One of the ones I like the best is this little Yuli palette. She doesn't make these anymore, which is such a shame, because I still think this thing, I bought it a lifetime ago. I've used it so many times and it's not even close to being done. It's just a great palette. But Jeannie over at Yuli does provide some really nice smaller options. There are other watercolor artists who give you little dot cards, which would be enough. So you could throw a watercolor dot card in one of those plein air bags and you would have metallics on the go if you like to play around with metallics. But for plein air painting, depending on the season, you may not want metallics. At Christmas time, this kind of lives in my bag if I'm doing a lot of Christmassy stuff with twinkling lights and sparkle and shimmer and tinsel. You know, that's much more fun to play with metallics. When I'm outside during this time of year, I play with them less. All right, so that gives you all of what's in my plein air setups. Now, the only thing that's going to change maybe this year is that I am hoping to get outside with some gouache some more. So I've watched Sarah Burns forever. I've got lots of ideas from her, but I would love to know in the comments below from my community, what do you guys do differently with your plein air setups for watercolor that you really find useful, that you think I could benefit from? Or what are your gouache plein air setups? Tell me that so that I can get better and maybe have a gouache plein air setup of my own. I would love that help in the comments below. And that's going to be it for me today. I hope that this inspires you to take your painting outside today. And we will see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.